What is up, everybody? Happy Thankful Thursday. Hello. Welcome. Come on up to Lindy's Treehouse. I'm Paramount USA, and I'm here every Thursday night, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm feeling a little bit on the Christmas spirit tonight. I'm just happy to be here with y'all. I always look see even my phone singing ding ding ding. It's telling me waiting on Paramount USA. What is up, everybody? Welcome. I've got my fancy wancy Christmas hat on tonight and my Christmas sweater. Super cute. My ugly sweater. Yes. Welcome, Mr. Bill. Mr. Bill's already in the treehouse. He's got the lazy boy chair with the beautiful Christmas Afghan. Remember your grandma would make Afghans? You know, you wrap up in the Afghans. Those are real popular. They knit them, little knitting needles. I never was a knitter. I wasn't a knitter. I never knitted. I think I tried it. But, my mother-in-law, God rest her soul, my mother-in-law from the past, she used to do needlepoint. Needlepoint? Is that what it's called? And to me, that'd be really tedious, like crocheting. Crocheting would be really tedious, too. But I am just happy to have y'all here tonight. Grab a chair, grab a snack. Bring a friend, climb up in the treehouse because we're just going to hang out and talk about Christmas, and new news to me. And I'm Paramount USA, and you are at Lindy's Treehouse. So come on up. And I'm here every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I am just happy to be here tonight. Yes. So don't forget to subscribe, subscribe, hit the like button, right? And hit the notification so you don't miss the show. So I'm on my 78th show tonight. So I'm cruising, that's for sure, man. I'm on cruise control. That's what I tell everybody. At 70 years old, halfway to the 71 mark, it's amazing. It's amazing. But you know what? It's amazing if you take care of yourself. Yeah, take care of yourself. And I don't know, maybe I must have good genes or something, I'm very blessed. I had my wellness checkup today. And it's amazing as you get older in your senior years, they start focusing on other things, Not like when you're younger, you'd go in, right? Well, I don't know. Let's see if you're pregnant, that kind of thing. Check on all those. Checking. They stop checking on the plumbing after a while, okay? They're just like, okay, I've seen enough. You're good. All right. Yeah, that's fine. Let's find out what's going on upstairs, If I have any loose marbles that I don't know about yet. That's pretty much how the how the wellness checkups go when you're 70. They just, some of the other stuff just goes away. And they want to focus on other things, like, do you have a will? Do you have this? And then they try to do these little memory games with you, and it's pretty crazy. It just kind of put everything in perspective, how fast life goes, it really does. I mean, I used to laugh at other people that are my age, and now I'm that age, you know what I'm saying? But I refuse to really hang out at the senior centers because I look at it in my brain, I'm not there yet. Okay, even though I'm a senior, I'm not there yet. And so, I'm not ready to do that. I've been there. I've been at the senior center a few times. I did the Halloween. I did the Halloween contest a couple years ago, and that was fun. Me and a friend or whatever. I remember I dressed up as Superwoman, and that was fun. That was fun. But otherwise, yeah. But today was a good day. Like I said, I had to get up super early, because I had to make sure I was ready when my little shuttle picks me up, to go to my wellness. So it was pretty interesting. Yeah, it was an interesting checkup. Like I said, they threw 3 words. She said, okay, I'm going to tell you 3 words, and you have to remember these 3 words. And then, hi, Will Fly. Welcome. I'm all in my Christmas outfit. I got my ugly sweater on, as you can see. I got my ugly sweater. See the little reindeer. I think super cute. And so I was feeling feeling festive tonight. Feeling festive. The back of it's super cute too. I don't know. Let's see if you can see the back. But yeah, if you can see the back, it's super cute. Me and my daughter-in-law, we go to Goodwill every year, and we pick out an ugly sweater. We buy an ugly sweater. So it's pretty fun. So I thought I'd change up my Santa hat tonight, and get all festive. Be my 78th show. We are oh my goodness. Let's see. All right, we got Cowboy in the house. I have to get everything writing. I got to start writing all your names down, because we're going to do a spinny wheel and give away. We're going to give away a paragliding talk sticker tonight. Yeah, a paraglidingtalk.com sticker. We're going to give one of those away. Let's see. Okay, so I'm writing down everybody that's here. So Bill H was first. I told you I got up super early this morning. I'm not a morning person, so I'm like, and at 5 o'clock I was ready to take a nap. I mean, I don't know how people get up that early. I know I used to, get up early and stuff, but so let's see. We have Bill, and then we have Will Fly, and then we have Cowboy. All right. They're cruising all up in the treehouse right now. Everybody's getting their seats and their bean bags and all that stuff. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Really happy to have you all here. And people that are watching, my lurkers and subscribers and all that, I really appreciate everybody. I appreciate every one of you. It means the world to me. Even if you don't jump in the chat or whatever. But if you don't jump in the chat and say hello, then you can't win. You have to be present to win. So when I give things away. So, I proceeded to send out Greg Laney's his Christmas sock. And, I put in that little brown envelope and everything. And I'll show you real quick. So it's this Bill H's pretty package. I mean, Greg Laney, sorry. Hi, Greg Laney. Greg Laney's pretty package. And I didn't check the mail yesterday, but I checked it this morning, and the mailman never picked it up. And I messaged Greg, and I told him, I told him that the mailman put a sticker on here and said that, I guess it looks suspicious. And so they said that I have to, they said that I have to take this, I have to take this I have to take this to the post office in person. Okay. Yeah. I know I have enough stamps on and everything, but apparently they're thinking there was something else in here. And because I've been sending off, different, in the pack, the little envelopes, the socks, right, to everybody. I think he was like, the postmaster general probably said, I don't know about this woman. No, I wouldn't accept her packages anymore, because he would grab them and take them to the post office for me, which was cool. And now they're not allowed to do that anymore because security, he said high security something. And so anyway, I want to give away another pair of socks. So I'm thinking maybe I can go by the post office this weekend and just drop it in the Greg Lane says they thought those socks were the bomb. Yeah, they thought there was some other thing. They thought I had a bag of something in there, Yeah. So it's so stupid, right? So stupid. And if there was a bag of, wacky weed in here or whatever, they'd be able to smell it right away, right? I'm not stupid, and I wouldn't do that anyway. It's socks. I'm mailing a pair of socks. So even if security opened the envelope, they'd be like, oh, it's a pair of socks. So very funny. That's like when I came, it was like 2018. I flew out from Arizona to Michigan, and I packed I know I was going to go visit my SEUSS. I don't know what I was thinking, but I like my coffee creamer, right? So I bought a can of coffee creamer, and I threw it in my suitcase, my carry-on, I guess, or whatever. Well, they maybe it was in my suitcase, because when I went through security, they opened up and they saw the creamer, and they were kind of like, huh, and I'm thinking, you know what, BISH, don't be taking my creamer from me, and don't take my creamer, because I thought she was going to keep it, but she could see it wasn't open or anything, and they just kind of laughed and put it back in my suitcase. So I won't do that again. So we do crazy things, you know what I mean? So like I said, today was interesting. And John Cowboy can relate, like I said, every time I go for wellness, like I said, today was more just talking about what's going on in my head. They don't care about anything else anymore. They don't want to look at the plumbing. Okay. They've seen enough of that. They're just like, you're good. No, we don't need to see that, so, and of course, got to get the mammogram. So they said, this is your last one. They said, this is your last mammogram. Boy, isn't that great, huh? I thought I'd share that with the world. So when you get in your 70s, a lot of things change when you go on your checkups. And sometimes they don't want to see you, till, I'm surprised she even saw me this year. It used to be like you go see them 6 months and then a year. But now they just, you get to this age or whatever. And like I said, they just want to do memory games with you. And they actually handed me a piece of paper with a circle on it. And I had to draw a clock, like a clock. And talk about having a brain fart, you know what I'm saying? And right before that, she says, I have 3. Cowboy says, spent all day yesterday at the doctor office with my wife getting skin cancer removed, 7 hours. Oh, prayers for your wife, Cowboy. Prayers to you for healing. Yeah, cancer sucks. And I can't complain, when I went for my checkup or whatever. But yeah, they gave me right before that, she says, I'm going to say 3 words to you. I'm going to say 3 words and then I'm going to ask you after, what these words were. And so I'm like, okay. And I kept repeating myself. Well, then they bring that paper over to you and they tell you to draw inside the clock, make it look like a clock, which I totally, like I said, had a brain fart. I'm like, okay, I forgot. Okay, let me see how I do this. And so I'm trying to figure that out. And then she goes, okay, what are the 3 words that that I just told you? And I could only remember 2. I couldn't remember the first one. So yeah, so they really start playing. Like I said, when you go for these wellness checks, then it's more like the brain check. They check to see if your marbles are still, if you lost any marbles yet since the last time they saw you, kind of thing. It's hilarious. But anybody who's listening, I'm Paramount USA, and you're at Lindy's Treehouse, and I'm here every Thursday night, 8:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'm just super happy to have all my chatters in the house right now. I've got they're all relaxed in my treehouse, which is all decorated, of course, for Christmas. Bill H, Will Fly, Cowboy, and I got to add Greg Laney to the list. And we'll give away a sticker tonight. And then I'll have to figure out. And I can give away socks too. I just have to figure out how to. Hi, Walter, Sugar in the house. I just have to think of a different way to mail things out. Get that stuff in the mail now that maybe I should wait till after Christmas to send some of that stuff out, right? Judy said, what were the 3 words? I wish it was that easy. Sis was in the house. My sis is Judy. Judy. I love Judy. I love my sis. Everybody say hi to Judy. Say, hey, Judy. I couldn't remember the first word, but the last 2 words were heaven and mountain. And I still can't remember the first. I can't remember the first word. So they tell you to do this memory thing, and then, like I said, then I had to draw the clock, and Kim is in the house. Hi, Kimmy and John. John's my brother, and then Kimmy is my sister-in-law, and everybody's in the chat tonight. Welcome. Kimmy, I got your Christmas card. Thank you so much. I have the most beautiful sister-in-law ever. And I love my brother Johnny. Yeah, I'm blessed with family. I'm so blessed. So like I said, my little checkup thing, like I said, it was it was interesting. Because they asked you all this weird stuff. But all in all, he was good. Like I said, I can't complain. And yeah, I'm on my 78th show tonight. And yeah, I'm on my 78th show. Pretty exciting, right? Pretty exciting. So I'm gonna do new news to me tonight. Then we'll give away a paragliding talk sticker tonight. And so if you guys forgot what they look like, I'll show you, because Robert, my son, donated a paragliding talk JotCon sticker. Will Fly, he won one a couple weeks ago. And let's see, Munchkin, she should be getting her sticker in the mail pretty soon. So it's pretty cool. Robert's, I'm so blessed, And then, of course, I have to, shout out to all my peeps that donated to the show, sent me socks, Scooby and Munchkin. And I think they're at a Christmas party now. Oh, there's Munchkin. Hi, beautiful. Hello, beautiful. Hello. Yes, I'm all Christmassy tonight. I got, what's backwards? What's backwards? Upside down, Linda. What's upside down? What's upside down? What are you guys talking about? What's backwards? Oh, the sticker? Oh, I thought I had to look at my sweater. I'm like, what? Oh, sorry about that. Here, let me do it again. Okay, there. Now can you see it? There we go. Now it's not upside down. I can see it now. Can you see it now? Yeah. There it is. Oh, Lord. I'm thinking, what, my hat? My sweater? What the heck? See, I got my ugly Christmas sweater on. Thank you, SEUSS. She said, all good, all good. And Walter said it should show as right side up in Australia. There you go. And we all know it's tomorrow because Walter is in the house tonight. So Walter from Australia. Yes. So yeah, so like I said, today was today was interesting. I didn't I didn't fall in the snow or anything, running down my little alley here to get my bus and all that. I did. It was good. I have to say, made it back home safe. Everything else. So I'm just y'all can see. I'll stand up so you can see my sweater. I think it's super cute. And then of course I had to change up. See, it's a reindeer with the red-nosed reindeer. Yes. And then the back it's a reindeer on the back too. So like I said, me and my daughter-in-law, we go to the SEUSS says, that's sexy. Okay. It's actually really light, it's really light. I thought it would be like heavy. I didn't want anything heavy, sweaters or whatever. And it's not itchy either, surprisingly. I remember growing up and you get sweaters for Christmas and you put them on, and that what are those sweaters called, Judy, that we grew up with? Was it mohair sweaters? Munch would remember that. Mohair sweaters, right? Remember those? Do they even sell those anymore? They're really super soft mohair sweaters. Those are real popular in high school and stuff. That just popped in my head. Mohair sweaters. Yeah. Remember those? But yeah, I just thought because we're doing Christmas, the month of Christmas and everything. Will Foss said it would be a 3D reindeer if Dolly Parton was wearing it. Yeah. I'm goat hair. Yeah, that's what it was, huh? Goat hair. That's what Cowboy said. Yep. And Munchkin said, yeah, they do make mohair sweaters. So, like I said, I know I repeat myself because old people repeat things, like I said, as you get older, and like I said, you go for your checkups, your wellness checkups. It changes after a while. And like I said, they don't want to see your plumbing anymore. Okay. They don't want to see it. They're like, it's okay. It's okay. We just want to know what's going on, if you got any marbles left. So we're going to make you draw a clock, and we're going to ask you some memory things, words, have to remember words and stuff. So, but yeah, I think I was in there in that office, in that room, like for a couple hours, but I kind of told them about my show because, I like to talk to people and stuff. And so I have a really good physician. I've had her since I moved here 2021. So it's very important to find a good doctor, a good physician, all that stuff, right? It really makes the visit a lot easier. So anywho, we are going to start the show because we have to do new news to me. And Will Fawcett, anyone catch the red rum reference? It's kind of old. The red rum reference? Red rum? I don't know. Stuff goes over my head like really easily. And when when I did the clock, I kind of messed up. I didn't put the the numbers, like I didn't separate them far enough. Because, they give you a circle. They hand you a paper with a circle, and they said, I want you to draw a clock. And so I kind of messed up. I kind of messed up on that, because I was still trying to remember the 3 words. So they really mess with you. It's not fair. But I did, how do you call it? I did, she came back in and she goes, here, try it again. So I did it a second time, the clock, and then it was okay. So that's kind of funny. Redeemed myself. That's what it is. I redeemed myself. Much because it's hard to find anything 100% cotton anymore. Boy, isn't that the truth? Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's Munchkin. That is so true. When you buy pairs of socks, everything's polyester now, and your feet just sweat. I totally get it. But yeah, this sweater came from Goodwill. It was like $5 or something last year, and then I'm glad that I hung on to all my Santa hats. I have like 5 or 6 of them because I used to wear them to work all the time. And I'm glad I have the hats I have now, because the ones I've been looking at in the store are made really cheesy. They're made really cheap, and they're expensive now too, your Santa hats. So I'm just, I'm glad that I'm learning. You got to hang on to things. And I wish I had half my clothes that I used to have, because even the quality of the clothing is like so bad right now, right? Walter says we're going to get a hot Christmas, and you gals are freezing your brass off. Yes. Well, it's like 25. It's 16 degrees outside right now. So tomorrow I'm going to write out Christmas cards, and I got my sister-in-law's Christmas card today, and I'll talk to you tomorrow too, Kimmy. So we'll chat and let you know how my wellness went and all that stuff. So anyway, let's start. Let's open the show. All right. Hey, beautiful peeps. Welcome to Lindy's Treehouse on this sparkly second week of December. Grab your hot cocoa, coffee, your eggnog, your fuzzy blanket, your doggy, your kitties, whatever makes you feel at home, because we are officially kicking off the coziest month of the year together. So can you feel that little magic in the December air right now? Because I sure can. So everybody put like a Christmas tree, or put like an emoji, a Christmas tree or something Christmas in the chat. Okay, I want to see Christmas trees or Santas, or snowflakes. We'll get the chat going. You got summer. Yeah, Australia, it's summertime where you're at. So Will Fly said the only people I've enjoyed from SK Fairy Tale, hate the name but love the book. I want to see emoji snowman, not the word snowman, but that'll work. Good job, Judy. Judy, look at, she wins it. Look at, she's got all her Christmas trees and hearts and all kinds of stuff. Munchka says Dean Koontz is good too, but his one name titles messed me up. So I'm not sure what you and Will are talking about, but that's okay. So so today, this is really cute, and I know this isn't from Dr. Seuss, right? Today you are you. That is truer than true. You have brains in your head. You have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose. How cute is that? I've been thinking about the Dr. Seuss, all the little quotes and stuff. They're really cute. Well, for Christmas time, right? So I am just so happy that everybody's here, and my lurkers, my watchers, and all that good stuff. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. And make sure you hit that like button and subscribe and hit the notification so you don't miss a show on Thursday. And tonight's my 78th show. So I'm, like I said, I'm on cruise control now. And that's how I feel like, even with my age, right? I'm on cruise control. That's the only way to be. The only way to be. And I'm gonna write out some Christmas cards tomorrow. And thank you for all the emojis, everybody. What's this? Okay, I'm looking at the chat. Munchkin says I have to catch up on his new stuff. Don't have much time to read anymore. So let's start with. So you guys and gals are the sparkle in this treehouse. Thank you for starting December with me. Let's make this month the warmest, brightest yet. So thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. I'm super stoked. But like I said, I don't know. My mailman will not take my packages anymore because they think there's something else in there. Scuba said, hey, Scooby-Doo, show and age the same. Oh, not yet. I'm getting there, though. I'm getting there. The show and age. You're so funny, Scooby-Doo. Ha, 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 ha. You're funny. Remember Tool Time? Didn't he do that laugh? Tool Time did that laugh, didn't he? Tool Time. What's his name? Tool Time. What is it? And he go, ho, 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 ho. Remember he used to do that laugh? You said it. Scooby says, you said it. Yeah, you should be getting your sticker. And I know if you're all just jumping in, I was telling everybody that I've been sending out your packages, with the socks in them and all that stuff. Well, I tried to send out Greg's package and the mailman wouldn't take it. And he said, and he put a sticker on it, right? Like, I'm surprised it wasn't like flashing lights or something, but he put a sticker on it and said that they could not accept my package for security reasons. So it's like, I know I had enough stamps and everything on it, but they said that I have to go to the post office in person and put it, and so they can see me. I have to like hand them the package or something, because it was bulky. I don't know, but I'm sure they were thinking because I've been doing this for a few months, they're probably thinking I'm sending something else in those envelopes, right? So, and if I was sending something else in those envelopes, you would definitely be able to smell it. You know what I mean? And so, and I wouldn't do that anyway. How stupid would that be, right? And so John, Cowboy says, sorry, Linda, got to go early. Okay, John, prayers to your wife. We'll keep her in our prayers. Okay, cancer sucks. That's BS. Mailman should be fired. Yeah. In fact, let me grab the little, I'll grab the thing for you. Let's see here. Don't mind me. I put the sticker on a box so I wouldn't lose it, but now I'm not gonna be able to read it because I'm blind. But I'll just kind of show you. This is the sticker, the sticker that was that they put on the package, right? And I thank God I could peel it off, that I didn't waste an envelope. I had 4 stamps on there, but it was something along the line. Something that requires a customer's declaration form and postage stamps or whatever, but something to do with security reasons, blah, blah, blah. So, so stupid. So I'm thinking, well, should I start sending stuff out after? How am I supposed to send the socks then? How do I send that? It was easy because the only other way I can do it is have my shuttle, run me to the post office during the week or whatever, I guess. See, in the summer I can walk there, but I can't walk there now, right, to the post office. So it sucks. Yeah, I go down to get my mail and my package is in there. And with that stupid sticker on there telling me they couldn't accept it, that I had to go in the post office in person. So anyway, so we're going to move right along on the show tonight. Welcome everybody. I'm Paramount USA, and you're at Lindy's Treehouse, and I'm here every Thursday night, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'm just happy to be here tonight. I really am. So we'll do a spinny wheel later or whatever. I had to get up early, and I'm not a morning person. So, Walter, there you go. Walter, he's got all kinds of emojis on there. That's right. You spam the heck out of the chat. I love that. I love that. Yes, I'll pray for John and pray for Cowboy John and his wifey. All right, you guys and gals all ready for new news to me? All right, here we go. Let's start out with a New Zealand reporter was struck by a bird during an outdoor segment. Oh yeah, I saw the video. Can you imagine? A seagull. I think the seagull just wanted some love and a French fry. But the way that seagull came down and smacked her in the face, oh, they had to hurt. They had to hurt. Seagull wasn't very nice. But yeah, she was right in the middle. That'd be like me sitting here talking, and all of a sudden, a bird comes and poops on my head or smacks me in the face, right? I thought I felt sorry for her. I'm like, poor girl. So that's the first one for new news to me. The second one, I wouldn't want seagulls. I remember there's even when I go fly up the Bayfront, right? I don't walk around with food, French fries, because they'd be attacking me. I just remember that when I went to visit California and was at this really nice resort, I had my nachos, and a plate of nachos. Everybody was chilling by the pool and eating nachos and all that. And yeah, and the seagulls will literally fly and land on your plate, and they'll steal your food. They will do that. Because I remember I wasn't paying attention, and I remember going to eating outside in California. It was a fairly nice restaurant, whatever, but the only crazy thing was little birds were like walking around underneath your chair and underneath your feet. Sometimes the seagulls would be hanging out. Greg Lane says seagulls aren't too bad. I'm more afraid of bagels. Bagels? You're afraid of bagels instead of seagulls? I love eating bagels. Walter says Lindy's Treehouse. That's right. Oh, bagels. Okay. You mean there's sorry, I keep getting a drink. This is live, everybody. So anybody that just kind of, happens to come upon my live stream, it is what it is, I don't keep it too structured. I mean, I do and I don't, because I got family. The family comes by to my treehouse and all that stuff. So anyway, so we're going to move right along. Anywho. Number 2, a British man's garden shed hit top speed of 125 miles per hour. He had such a love of motorized vehicles that he built the world's fastest garden shed, a storage structure with top speeds 123.43 miles per hour. Can you imagine? Yeah, and it shows a video, and he's driving it. It's a shed on wheels. That's pretty hilarious. I can't imagine, right? I can't imagine. But it's like, well, that's like the paramotors, right? Remember that guy that flew that couch? He he was a paramotor, whatever, and he turned the couch into like a paramotor thing, and and he was flying around in the air on the couch. Do you guys all remember that video? That was a while. That was a few years ago. But yeah, pretty funny. Pretty funny. Something came to my mind too. I'm trying to think, and it was right around in December, when he was on Clear Prop TV or whatever, and he had an accident, paramotor accident. Y'all remember that? It was back in like 22, maybe 2022, 23. And I think it's been, I think this month is like 2 or 3 years since he passed away. And I'll think of his name in a minute. I've got it in my Facebook or whatever. But anyway, I think a video or something came up one day on Facebook and made me think of him. It was really sad because he was young. I think it happened at Salton Sea that he crashed. If y'all can help me remember who that was, maybe Will Fly, you might remember who it was. Super nice guy too. Remember, he would always fly in the air with his doggy. So I'm going to pick your brains, see if you guys can remember who it was. But he was on Sean's show. And I think I had invited him to come on the show. And so pretty sad. So we're going to go right along. So the guy that made the shed, right, on the shed on wheels, he said he built it with a VW Passat. How do you say Passat? Passat. No, not Chris. No, Will Fly. No, it wasn't Chris. Gosh, see, I'm having a brain fart here. So I can say brain fart. I have a lot of those. I get a lot of those. Yeah. And, and like I said, when you go for your wellness checkups, they want to know. They'll ask you, so how many brain farts have you had lately? No, they don't. Can you imagine if they did that? Yeah, like when they ask you a bunch of questions, you have to fill out a paper before you see the doctor and stuff. They ask you, are you this, are you that, blah, blah, blah. Can you imagine if they asked you about, how many brain farts that you have? Oh, it was Dustin. That's who it was, Will Fly. Dustin. It was Dustin. You remember? Yeah, it was Dustin. God bless him. That was so sad. I was so freaking sad. So he made the a Passat. So he made it out of the motor, whatever V8. What is a V8 Passat engine? That must be a pretty big engine, right? Do they still make them? Where's my automotive gurus in the chat? The VW, yes. I know the VW, that's Volkswagen. So he made. Can you imagine I wonder what that sounds like. I wonder if it's really loud. If it sounds really loud when he's going down the street. So it became the world's fastest garden shed. And he did this in a contest to raise money for charity. So that's pretty cool. That's really cool. All right, we're going to go down to number 3. This is really cute. There was a baby seal that walked into a bar. Well, seals can't walk, but, or use a technical term, it gallumped, they said, into the bar. The baby seal did. And the creature was apparently lost and curious and well below New Zealand legal drinking age, that it actually lodged itself under the dishwasher at the restaurant and showed no interest in calling a cab. and it's funny. And it was the Meadows Craft Beer Pub or whatever. So it was. I think it knew that it could go in that place because he must have read the sign outside that said pet friendly. So probably the baby seal thought, well, this sounds good. I'll just go in here, right? But the baby seal, they found him in the bathroom. He was looking in the bathroom, and so he was hiding. He was hiding in there. So I'm sure that they when he first came in the door, some of the patrons had to do a second look because they thought it was a dog at first, and here it was a baby seal. So they did finally catch it, and probably took it back to its habitat, whatever kind of thing. So that's pretty, that's good. So nobody was hurt or anything like that. So just a cute little story, right? Cute little story. And then we're going to go number 4. A border collie, which we all love doggies. Border collies are so smart. They're working dogs too. Her name was Taffy, and she was chasing geese on the lake, and she fell through the ice in a park in New Jersey, and thank goodness, she got saved. They called 911, whatever, and they came out and they rescued the dog out of the ice. So that ended really well too. That's a scary part too. We've already had several people fall through the ice. More so downstate than up here. The ice is pretty thick right now, and northern Michigan, yeah. But I don't know. Have anybody in the chat? Have you ever done ice fishing? Have you all done ice fishing before? My son does that when he has time, when he's not working. Ryan likes to. He does ice fishing. I thought I've never done that before, but I thought that would be fun. I think that would be kind of cool. Just go out there for a couple hours or whatever, and you sit in the shanty, and then you got heat, right? And you bring your snacks, and you just, and then they drill a hole in the ice, in the shanty, and you fish, Greg says no, but when I was in Minnesota, I regularly saw the ice fishing huts. Yeah, the shanties. And every time I see a shanty, I think of Grumpy Old Men. That's my favorite movie. That's funny as heck. Walter says only in the freezer box. Yeah. That'd be, I mean, just because I've never done it before, I think it would be fun. Leslie's like, oh, heck no. You won't get my daughter alive. She's like, you ain't getting me on the ice. But I don't know. I thought, yeah, I'd probably freeze, though. I'd probably be so cold in there. But he would have a heater and all that, inside the shanty. And I think that, I think of the Grumpy Old Man. I'm thinking of that shanty going across the ice. Those guys were always arguing. Bless their hearts. That was such a good show. So funny. Mr. Bill said it froze here one time. Yeah, I don't even know what the ice is. I have to ask Ryan what the ice report is because my son Ryan, every year he does the ice report. And people are crazy. They're crazy. But I just thought, man, that'd be fun. And you know what else? Like Ryan has a snowmobile, right? And I've never been on a snowmobile before. So how many in the chat have been on a snowmobile? And Leslie's got a big snowsuit that she said she let me borrow or whatever. And I could, Ryan could take me out on the take me out on the the snow thing. I'm saying the snow thing. I think that would be fun. I think that'd be really fun. So we have in the summer, but you will not in the summer. You would not get me on a jet ski in the summer. There's no way. Those are scary jet skis. Flyer Bill says I've never seen one in person. Yeah, I think it would be. I think it'd be really. It'd be fun. I think it'd be fun to jump on one of those. You see them like way up north. You see a lot of them up north. Especially where they get a lot of snow, because they have to have a way to get around, right? So, what do I want to say? A snow? Not. I keep wanting to think. I keep wanting to say snowblower, but it's not a snowmobile. It's snowmobile. Yeah, you'll see them when you go up north, like way up north, farther up from where I'm at, where they get a lot more snow. You will see snowmobiles parked on the side in front of like the bars and stuff. Shopping centers, whatnot. One of the ski resorts I saw downstate, Pine Knob, which I'm so surprised it's still there, where they have outdoor concerts downstate or whatever. And then in the wintertime, you can ski there. And I remember going skiing in high school. And I had a really nice ski outfit or whatever. But I guess they had a power outage the other day. I can't imagine. What if they're up on that, up on the those chairs or whatever, and the power goes out, right? You'd be stuck. You'd be like stuck up there for a while. How would they get you down? If there's a power outage. So on the chair lifts, right? So crazy. Riding those chairlifts is fun though. I did that in when I was in Arizona. They had in the summer, they would give chairlift rides. Walter says very fast down the drag strip, snowmobiles on a hot track. Oh, no doubt, Walter. Yeah, and I hadn't been on chairlift like since high school, right? So it was like 2016 or whatever, when I worked at a rodeo and all that stuff. And then the gal there gave me tickets to go to the ski resort. It was in the summertime, and to go on the chairlift, and that was fun because I'd never been on, hadn't been on one in a while. So you're way up there too. Will Fox says I still don't understand how those things propel. What's that? Oh, you mean the snowmobiles? Will Fox? Yeah, Ryan's got a snowmobile, and I told him, I said, I haven't think I've ever been on a snowmobile. I'd like to, so I don't know. We'll see. I think that'll be fun because it's not like Ryan's going to go speeding down the road or whatever. And you only live once, you know what I mean? So I don't know. It'd be fun. There's all kinds of things to do. So how many in the chat have heard of the Hungry Hippo game? Anybody play that? I never played it. I don't think. Maybe I did. Hungry Hippo game. Anybody in the chat played that? Walter says big rubber band will look it up, kid. Greg says I live it every day. That's right. I'm just thankful for all you in the chat tonight. I'd be lost without all my peeps. Yep. Okay. So Scooby said, yeah, Hungry Hippo game. Yeah, they had they said that the fastest time to clear a game of Hungry Hippos with this team of two was 5.80 seconds. 5.80 seconds. So I guess they have, they have like, do like contests or whatever. Like it's actually a sport, right? So you can imagine all these grown men at the bar, sitting at the tables, all the tables like really serious, teaming up to play Hungry Hippo. I think that would be hilarious. I think that would be hilarious. Honestly. But yeah, they take it pretty serious. I don't know where it's at or whatever, but the hippos eat the marbles, Scooby said. Yeah, yep. I saw the but those marbles only. And Scuba says, come out so fast. Yeah, they got some, it's pretty fun. Yeah, I watched one of the videos, but yeah, they actually have, people compete. But I was saying I can't imagine them having something like that, the Hungry Hippo Club, and everybody goes and team up or whatever. So it'd be fun to play over Christmas, the family and stuff. Because I think the other games, the board games are coming back, aren't they? A lot of the board games. You guys remember all the board games we used to play? Remember Sorry? We used to play Sorry, Shoot Some Ladders. What are some board games we used to play? When everybody's just sitting around. That it was exciting to get a board game for Christmas, remember? It was always fun. Monopoly. There's so many of them out there. And which I'm sure they're trying to bring the nostalgia back, right? And I wish I would have saved a lot of my board games. There were so many different ones. Risk, yeah, I remember that. Mr. Bill. Yeah, Risk. Yeah, I remember that. Oh my gosh. All right, we're going to move on to the next one. So, did you guys see the video of this happened in Tennessee? A black bear wandered into a Christmas parade. At first, people thought he was a part of the parade till he wasn't, and it was Gatlinburg's 50th annual Fantasy of Lights Christmas parade. So, can you imagine sitting there looking, with your kids and stuff, the kiddos watching the parade, and then a bear comes just waltzing down the middle of the parade, right? Well, once you made like a left into the crowd, then it was mayhem. So I don't know if they ever caught the bear, were able to catch him, whatever. It doesn't say that he ate anybody. He didn't eat any children kind of thing. They didn't go into detail, but they showed the video of the bear, a live bear going down the street. And this was in Tennessee. So they're coming out of the mountains, and in Arizona, that you see a lot of wildlife just cruising around in their backyards, because they're coming right out of the desert, just kind of walking in their yard. So I haven't seen any bears up here yet. You could. It's very possible. It wouldn't surprise me. It would surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if I saw a bear. Mostly it's just deer for wildlife. You see wildlife up here. But I can't imagine. So how many like Legos? I love Legos. And I know a lot of the parents took their kids to Legoland. But growing up, right, Legos was a big deal. And they didn't feel very good at Christmas time walking around on the carpet, because I think at that time when Legos came out, wasn't it shag carpeting? Maybe it was shag carpeting, and you'd be walking around and you wouldn't even see the Legos and the carpet and the shag carpeting. And Mr. Bill says, I love Legoland. Yeah. And you'd have the whatchamacallit, the Legos, in the shag carpeting, and you'd walk around your bare feet and you'd step on the Legos. That hurt. And then for months after that, you'd be like vacuuming Legos, right? Will Fly says, I like the Lego PS4 games, never got into the blocks as a kid. A lot of people, these kids can build some awesome Lego stuff, right? Really cool. So let's get on with this here. Okay, so the world's largest Lego mural assembled in Switzerland, a charity event in Switzerland, attempted a 79-foot long, 6-foot tall mural, and they used how many Legos do you think they used to build this 79-foot long, 6-foot tall mural? How many do you think that they how many how many Legos do you think they use? Just throw some numbers out there in the chat. It's crazy. 6-foot tall, 79 foot. And they gave me a number here of how many Lego bricks, how many Legos they put in there. Let's see what numbers you guys can show me. Show me in the chat what you think, how many numbers. Legos were, like I said, I remember. And then when the kids were older, I gave them Lego sets for Christmas, the boys were little or whatever. And yeah, and the noise when you're vacuuming and the Legos go in the vacuum. Greg Laney said 14. Funny. 14. Not even close, Greg Laney. Not even close. It's so funny. 14. Yeah, 75-foot long, 6-foot tall mural. All right. You guys want the answer? You want the answer? This is a lot of Legos. I wonder how long it took them to build this mural, Lego mural. 300,000 Lego bricks. 300,000 Lego bricks. That's a lot of Legos. Oh my gosh. That's crazy, right? That was crazy. So we're going to move right along because we're going to talk about Christmas, different Christmas things. We're going to talk about like the 12 days of Christmas and kind of, the meaning of it or whatever, because that's what this month is all about, talking about Christmas stuff, with just fun stuff. Greg Laney says, I was only 299,986 off the correct number. Yeah, you were like that close, Greg Laney. You were almost there. Yes, you were almost there. So I'm going to give a shout out real quick here. I got all my notes and everything. I'm just so appreciate my chatters being here tonight and my listeners and my viewers and all that. Make sure you're hitting that like button out there and all my YouTuber land. We've got Scooby, because I have to write on my board here, and then Munchkin. So we'll do that. Munchkin. Right. So yeah, that's my other thing here. I have to read. So yeah, that's a lot of Legos. So anyway, number 8. All right, what's this one? Ooh, okay. A lunch rush at a Wisconsin restaurant turned into a lunch stampede when a deer crashed through a window and wandered through the seating area and kitchen. They said the restaurant obviously emptied out, like it was chaos. So yeah, they didn't. So what they did is they said, so the restaurant turned the unexpected visit into a marketing opportunity and offered $2 mac and cheese in honor of the deer. Oh my gosh. I hope nobody got hurt. You're crashing through the glass, crashed through a window, Munchkin says, I need chicken and dumplings. There you go. That's good. I've never had chicken and dumplings. I never ate chicken dumplings. Sounds good though. Sounds good. But yeah, so they offered, the $2 mac and cheese, the rest of the day, rest of the weekend or whatever. Mr. Bill said, I saw the video. No one got hurt. That's amazing, right? That's amazing. those deers are pretty powerful. Like I said, I saw a few, there's a few deers I wandered around, and you'll see the mama come out. And if the mama comes, or if you see the baby first, the mama's not far away, right? And so you don't want to mess with the baby because the mama will come after you, charge you. Munchkin says, wait, how have you never had chicken and dumplings? I don't know. I've never made them. My mom never made chicken and dumplings that I can remember. I don't even know how the dumplings. I don't even know how you make the dumplings. I tell you what, now that I have all my little cooking appliances, I don't even use my stove at all. I just don't. I don't feel comfortable using it. It's a gas stove, and I was making banana breads for a while there, but I don't turn the oven on anymore. I use it mostly just to store things, my pots and pans, things like that in there, because I have such little space in this apartment. But I wouldn't even. Can you cook chicken and dumplings in a slow cooker? I guess, right, Munchkin? I'll have to get that recipe. Have to try it, because I don't have a clue how to make the dumplings. Yeah, that sounds almost like the dumplings would sound like, the crock pot, that it would sound like it'd be really heavy, like chicken pot pies. That's what it reminds me of. Oh, they're like little biscuits, Mr. Bill said. Okay. I might have to try that. Yeah. And then you put gravy on them? You have chicken gravy or something you put over it? I have no idea. Now I'm hungry. I had fairly early lunch, so I just made breakfast for lunch today, and I haven't ate since. So, anywho, everybody's listening or just jumping on and all that stuff. I'm Paramount USA, and you're at Lindy's Treehouse, and I'm here every Thursday night, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we just talk about news to me. We talk about food. We talk about our day's activities, what's going on during the week, and all that stuff. We just it's just a fun way to get together once a week, and it's good for me too. You guys keep me going, and it motivates me, to be even better at what I do, right? And I appreciate every one of you, and I appreciate my viewers. Make sure that you're hitting that like button. I always watch every week, see how many views I have, and I appreciate everybody watching. Make sure you hit that like button, hit the notification, and make sure you subscribe to my channel and all that stuff. So tonight we're going to talk about lights and little joys, because December is basically a love letter made of twinkle lights, right? So, so we're just going to kind of talk about, like Christmas as such. And then the song, the 12 days of Christmas. So the kind of evolution and modern traditions of okay. So I'm like a squirrel here. Thickened chicken stock with chicken and dough dumplings. Okay. Will Fly said, thanks for doing the show for us, Linda. You're welcome, Will Fly. You're welcome. Like I said, we do the show. We all hang out. And if I can make somebody's day, that's what it's about. Just be good to each other. And that's what I like about the show, that we all can connect. And I want people to feel inspired that you're never too old to do a live stream, right? And it's just little things. And I always look at it, if I can make somebody laugh or smile, my day was not wasted. And today, I went in my doctor's office, and I went to the window, and there was a little gal in there, and she was training, she was in training or whatever. And so I was like, good for you, you know. And most people would get all impatient and everything. And, you know, I gave her my credentials, and she had a lady was shadowing her and helping her put everything in the computer and all that. And yeah, and so, and she was doing really good, you know. She was probably maybe just 18 years old, 18, 19, you know. And so when I got done and everything, and I went back to the window and drop off my papers, she said, thank you, Bill. He said, good show tonight. When I went back to drop off my papers or whatever, as I went out the door, I stopped at the window again, and I told the little gal, I said, I just want to let you know that you're doing really good. I said, keep it, you know, you're doing good. And she goes, well, thank you. And she got a big smile on her face. She goes, you have a good Christmas. And I said, I will. So it's just those little things, right? Just those little things that for people, you know, maybe she really needed it that day. And I told, you know, I said, we all were newbies once, right? And so that's all it takes, right? You want to just be nice. And it's easy for me to be nice. You know, you guys all know how, you know, I get all emotional sometimes because I just look at my life and how so many things have worked out for me. And I'm so thankful for my Jesus, because he has a lot to do with everything, right? So anyway, yeah, I'm just really happy. And I'm going to write names on the spinny wheel. We'll give away a paragliding talk sticker tonight, because I know the mailman will, you know, they'll pick that up. And then tomorrow, yeah, I'm going to get some Christmas cards out to everybody. So I know that he'll mail my Christmas cards for me. He just won't mail my socks anymore. Not very nice mailman. And, you know, I was going to give him put a Christmas card in the mailbox for the mailman to thank him, you know, because we usually get like the same mail carriers pretty much up here. But you know what? I know I'm contradicting myself, because I've said, oh, I got to be nice, have to be nice. But come on, man. You know, I wanted to get those socks out to Greg, and I was so happy to get everything out. And then when I go and look in the mailbox today, and it's still in there with a big old sticker stuck on it, you know, like flag. I got flagged, right? Because the package was bulky or whatever, and it looked suspicious. And so, and you know, it's high security right now. It's a sad world we live in, you know. Yeah, I remember even growing up, everybody, you know, we knew there's always the joke about the mailman and the milkman. Remember growing up, talking about the mailman and the oh, it must be the mailman's kid, or it must be the milkman's kid. You know, I remember that. And then the milk chutes. My parents had a milk chute. I remember they would deliver milk. You know, in the truck. The guy would come down in the middle of the summer. He'd come down the street with the milk, delivering the glass bottles. Munchkin says, "I will say it for you, Linda. Duck that guy." Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Remember on what was it? On Grease, the movie Grease, she would say fungu. Remember, she'd say fungu. That's gonna be my new word instead of the F word. Fungu. Remember that? The Grease. That's such a good movie. Yeah, I was not happy when I saw my package. So now it's going to make it harder for me to get things out. But I'll figure it out. I'll get it done. All right. So evolution and modern tradition. So ornaments were actually, the ornaments on the tree back in the day were started with edibles, fruits and nuts, and then glass baubles from Germany. So they first started out the Christmas. I love you, Munchkin. You're the best. So they started out. I didn't know they started out the Christmas trees using ornaments, or using ornaments that were edibles, fruits and nuts, and then they went to the glass baubles from Germany. Then the lights, candles came first, and then the electric, the lights came out in the 1800s, and the artificial trees too came out in the 1800s. I did not know that the artificial trees. I thought artificial trees came out. I don't know, when I was growing up, the neighbors, I told you the neighbor across the street had an artificial tree. And I thought, God, that's so weird, because we always had real trees. But I couldn't understand that, a couple of the people across the street had those artificial trees. But this goes way back to the 1800s for artificial trees. That's pretty cool facts, right? They said they had a tree invented in Germany. It was goose feathers, but it was made out of goose feathers. A tree was made out of goose feathers, but due to deforestation, popular in the U.S. by the 20th century. So whatever deforestation means, they stopped doing the goose feathers on the trees and stuff. So maybe they were trying to protect the geese. I don't know. Maybe. So, so it says, I wrote down all kinds of notes today, today, a global symbol, often secular with endless styles. So I guess that means the Christmas trees have really evolved, right, into all different styles. And boy, have they gotten expensive, right? I can't imagine how much a Christmas tree costs now, or let alone a live tree. And then we're going to go with the title for the world's tallest Christmas tree. Depends on the category of the tree, right? And they said the tallest living tree was 147 feet, and it was a giant redwood in England. That's a big tree, right? That is a big tree. 147 feet. Giant redwood in England, it says. So the record for the tallest Christmas tree ever belonged to a 221-foot Douglas fir in Seattle from 1950. So there's a lot of tall Christmas trees out there, There's a lot. That's crazy. So meanwhile, in California, there was also a contender for the tallest living tree. And they decorated this tree in California with 1,300 lights and bows. 1,300 lights and bows. I can't imagine the person that has to take all that stuff down. I mean, my mom, she would put our Christmas tree up every year, but she'd wait till my dad went to work and we were in school, and my mom would decorate the tree. So we'd come home, or, the tree would be all pretty and decorated. So my mom was no dummy, She didn't want my dad to help her, because he would break things, so break ornaments and stuff. So she did it, he'd bring the tree in, right? And we'd make sure the tree stayed watered, because it was a live tree and it was all full of that tinsel, right? I don't even know, back then it was all tinsel. I don't think garland was out yet, was it? I can't remember when I was growing up. I don't remember the garland part, but I remember all the tinsel, which would be stuck in the carpet and in the vacuum cleaner, and the pine needles, right? For the whole year, the vacuum would be full of pine needles, but that smell, it always would smell so good, because back then, right, the vacuum cleaners had the bags on them. We didn't have these fancy vacuum cleaners like we have now with the tubes, the plastic tubes. We had the bag, the Hoover vacuum. Y'all remember the Hoover vacuum, right? Those are pretty. I think the Hoover vacuum, we had ours for a long time, right? Because they made them right. Now everything, right? All the vacuums, the dirt devils and all that are all, they're plastic. They're all plastic. So I remember the Hoover vacuum. So that takes, And then they have the Hoover vacuum cleaner man or whatever come by trying to sell you a vacuum cleaner, knock on the door, try to sell you a vacuum cleaner. Or was the Fuller brush man? Who all remembers the Fuller brush man? The Fuller brush man. What the heck was he selling? Fuller brush man. You guys, I'm doing trivia here. Who remembers that? And what did the Fuller brush man, what was it that he was selling? Was he selling vacuum cleaners? Fuller brush. I'm trying to think. What was that? See, I'm picking your brains. Picking your brains. Got to do that. Just like the doctors say, they're picking my brains. Picking my brain today. That's all I cared about. Getting in my head. That's all they cared about. They didn't care about nothing else. And we just want to check in your head. I think he said Fuller brushes. Yeah, Fuller brushes. So what did they? He was a disgruntled Dyson salesman. Greg said, I think so. Yeah, I think so. And I remember my mom would get my dad's shirts and stuff, get his stuff dry clean. And I remember they would actually come to your house and pick up your dry cleaning, and take your stuff and dry clean your stuff and bring it back or whatever. Like there was actually a guy that would come in, when I was growing up. I remember, I think it was a dry cleaner. Yeah, they don't do that anymore, right? And if you do, I'm sure, I don't know. I've never really had anything dry clean that I can remember. I'm sure it's very expensive now. When you go to these places, these dry cleaner places, I can't imagine how much it costs or whatever. But so the tallest artificial tree was in Colombo, Sri Lanka, holds the record for the largest artificial tree at 236 feet, built in 2016. So that's a lot of pretty Christmas trees, right? Pretty cool little trivia here. I thought we'd talk about Christmas trees and all that stuff. So we're wondering why there's 12 days in Christmas. The 12 days, how people celebrate the 12 days of Christmas. Did you guys in your family or whatever, did you do the 12 days of Christmas? Because I know when I used to set up my nativity set, I would keep it up for 12 days. I kept it up for 12 days. I think my mom, I think she kept, I think the tree, I'm pretty sure the tree probably came down after New Year's. But the 12 days of Christmas, I think that my mom kept the nativity set up, for quite a while or whatever. But yeah, I have a really cute little nativity set, but I can't put it out because Miss Molly, she would, let's see, Greg says my dad worked for a bakery, so we had 13 days of Christmas. Oh, aren't you a funny guy, Greg? Greg's funny. You're such a jokester. I tell you what, you need to come out. You need to be like a guest on my show. Be my co-host, Greg. You'd be really good at it. You'd be really, really good at it. I know I miss Gypsy. If you're out there, I miss my girls. I do. I still hear from Michelle. I still hear from Michelle, and she's doing really good. I'm really happy for her, and starting her new life and everything, and she's doing good. And then Gypsy, I haven't really heard much from Gypsy, but I'm just gonna say a shout out to Gypsy, Linda Kramer. I love you. I miss you. I gotta check in with her. I check in with Flying Flamingo Jade. I check in with her, and it looks like she got a new job to be a dispatcher. So I'm super excited. Shout out to JD. I'm very happy for her. She can do something that she loves. And she used to do that and be a dispatcher. So this is going to be really good for her. I'm super happy for you, JD, if you're listening. Much love. And to Weezy, if you're listening, I love you too. So I got my peeps out there. I know they're watching. and it's just nice to know that y'all are here. If I, anything comes up and I need just a friend, that kind of thing, that I'm always, I'm always a phone call away, right? Y'all know that. You can call me anytime. Somebody needs to talk, whatever. I'm always here. So just want to let you know, because that's what it's about, right? We take care of each other. And that's why I do the show, so we can all check in during the week. And even Shane, he does his show on Tuesday night. It's nice that we all get together. And then, Scooby-Doo show on Friday too. So I love it. We're like just one big family, happy family. So the number 12 comes from the time between Jesus' birth, celebrated December 25th in the Western Church, and the arrival of the Magi Epiphany, January 6th. In many cultures, especially England, the colonial America, and parts of Europe celebrate the Christmas. And it says Christmas Day itself was relatively solemn and religious. And let's see, it says, while partying happened over the following 12 days, peaking 12 night, whatever I wrote. I don't know what the heck I wrote. So I found the, I'm going to write your names on the board, on the spinny wheel, so we can do a spinny wheel too. And, we'll start slowing down the show, cutting down, shutting down the show a little bit or whatever. But, so I found the 12 Days of Christmas, the 12 Days of Christmas song, right? So when I say, on the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me, and then you put in the chat what that chorus is. Okay, you can type in the chat. See who's going to be the first one to put it in there. See who puts it in there first. First day of Christmas, my true love gave to me. I know it's delayed. I can sing the whole song. You going to sing it? Yeah, I can sing it. I missed that. The 12 Days of Christmas? On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a partridge in a pear tree. That's right, Greg Laney, he's got it. On the second day of Christmas, my true love gave to me two. Partridge Family, yes, yep. I'm gonna get dinged here. I'm gonna get copyrighted for singing the Partridge. 12 Days of Christmas. Partridge in a pear tree. Two turtle doves and a partridge in a pear tree. Right? On the third day of Christmas, my true love gave to me. What's the third day? Third day of Christmas. As everybody starts leaving the, as they're watching the show, my viewers are all like, all right, we're going to leave now. We're just not going to watch this. Oh, we'll find this is fun. Oh, good. Two turtle doves. See, remember you used to have to say really fast, right? Two turtle doves, three French hens, four calling birds, five golden. Oh, no, it was like 5 golden rings, 6 geese a laying, and then the other person go, 7 swans a swimming, 8 maids a milking, 9 ladies dancing. Is that good? 10 lords a leaping, 11 pipers piping, 12 drummers drumming, 12 drummers drumming, right? And a partridge in a pear tree, right? Did you like that? And the applause, yes. And the crowd roars, yes. As the guy downstairs is probably going, what the heck is going on up there? Yes. The first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 2 turtle doves, 3 French hens, 4 calling birds, 5 golden rings, 6 geese a laying, 7 swans a swimming, 8 maids a milking, 9 ladies dancing. Are you singing it backwards? No. I got first day partridge in a pear tree, 2 turtle doves, 3 French hens, 4 calling birds, 5 golden rings, right? Because you go to 5 and then you go 5 golden rings. Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear. And then they go down to, 7 swans a swimming, 8 maids a milk. This song actually came out in England in 1780, but it's probably older than the original one that was in French. Scooby's like, wow. Yes, you start from 12 and go down. Yes. 12 drummers, 11 pipers piping, 10 lords a leaping, 9 ladies dancing, 8 maids a milking, 7 swans swimming, 6 geese a laying, 5 golden rings. Right? No, I haven't been drinking. Okay. Just the coffee probably kicked in. So, yes. So it's kind of, what's your favorite Christmas song, everybody? Mine is I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus. I love that song. When I was growing up, my mom had, because this is before all this technology, obviously, they had the record player. My mom had Christmas albums. And I remember I put on, she had a really nice, what do you call it, record player. Remember, it was like the whole console type thing. She had it in the living room. And I remember I would play, I was the only one, but I would play play all the Christmas albums. So we had, let me think some of the Christmas albums. We had Mitch Miller. Does anybody remember? There's some oldsters. Mitch Miller Band. And this was probably, maybe that's how karaoke started, because the Mitch Miller Band would have, they would have the Mitch Miller Band or something on TV, and then they would sing, and they would have the little bouncing ball would go, especially it was all Christmas songs. We'd sing Christmas songs, and they have the bouncing ball that would go over all the words. And I remember singing, singing so many beautiful songs, Christmas songs. I was in the choir too at my church. I was in the church choir, and Christmas time was my favorite time of the year. I loved all that. Such a pretty time, the church would be all decorated for Christmas, and so many of these big, beautiful churches are gone. It's really sad. Pat Benatar's version of Little Drummer Boy. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yep. Come, they told me, pa-dum-pa-bum-bum. Yep. A newborn king to be, ba-da-ba-bum-bum. Yeah, and then Nat King Cole would have sing Christmas songs. And then we had Nat King Cole, and then my mom had, I think, Barbara Streisand, and then she had Perry Como. That's what I'm thinking, Perry Como. I know I'm really aging myself, but she had a ton of she had a bunch of Christmas albums. I used to sit there and, in the living room, whatever. And that's probably how I got to be, because I told my mom I was going to either be a dancer or a singer when I grew up. So Will Fly says, I don't like it anymore. Well, you don't like the Drummer Boy? You don't like the Drummer Boy's song or whatever? All right. Are you ready for the spinny wheel? We'll get the show on the road here. It's fun. I'm just having really, really fun things here. So while I'm doing this, what is the one thing that's lighting up your December so far? So what is the one thing that's lighting up your December so far? Like what's one, put in the chat, like what good thing, is, you think is, that's making you happy for December, like December, like a Christmas thing or whatever. Flyer Bill said, spin that wheel. All right, let me write the names on here. And then we'll call it a day, right? We'll call it a day. But I'm so happy you're all here. I'm like just so chilled tonight. But I need to get the show on the road, right? So anybody that's watching or whatever, see at the spinny winnie wheel, I winnie things, and you have to be present to win. So we know Cowboy left the building, so he got on his horse and he's gone. So we got Will. Well, Will Fly, you already have a sticker, so if it lands on yours, then I can give you you can pick out maybe a pair of socks. We'll do that. I'll figure it out from there. We got Greg Laney. Greg is supposed to, he's waiting. And then we got Walter. Walter. All right. Bill, you're already on there. Scooby and Munchkin. So, Scooby, Munchkin. I kind of spread it out here. See, Munchkin. Okay. All right. Did I get everybody? I got everybody. Thank you, everybody, for being patient with me. A lot of time with family this year. That's good. That's good. I know I'm going to spin my hair around. It eats hair. Oh, my goodness. You don't want my hair. Yes. You witnessed it. You witnessed the spinny wheel. Can you imagine my hair stuck in there and I go spinning? I'd be all stuck to. It'd be really funny. I'd be all stuck to the spinny wheel. Only me, right? Only me. All right. Y'all ready? The spinny winnie wheel. A beautiful spinny winnie wheel. I just love it. I love it. Okay. Y'all can see it. Okay, here we go. Let's see who wins the paraglidingtalk.com sticker tonight. Ready? Nobody. All right, let me spin it again. Keep my hair out of the way. All right, here we go. I'll spin it again. I'll keep my thumb out of the way somehow here. All right. Here we go. Nobody again. All right. One more time. Walter, you won the paragliding talk sticker. Walter, winner, chicken dinner. Wait, Scuba isn't nobody? No, Scuba's on here. Scuba's right there. No, okay, it landed on an empty one a couple times. It landed on an empty one. I swear it did. Walter, are you still there? Is Walter still in the chat? Walter won the paragliding talk sticker. Walter, do you want me to send you a sticker? Paragliding talk sticker? Congrats, Walter. Walter, are you still present to win? You have to be present to win. Is Walter still in the chat? Everybody look. Check for me, see if he's still in the chat. Otherwise, I'll respin it. Oh, Walter is in the, yes, please. Okay, Walter gets a paraglidingtalk.com sticker. You are going to, I'll have to message you on Facebook to get your address. All right. I don't even know how to send it to Australia. You have to use what kind of stamps you use and stuff. I have no idea. I have no idea. All right, I'm going to spin it one more time. All right, because I'm feeling like I'm in a giving mood here. So I'm going to spin it one more time for if somebody wants a pair of socks or a koozie. All right. Okay, let's spin it one more time because I'm just feeling the love tonight. Don't mind me. I have to tighten this somehow here without it coming off. I don't know. Let me see. So I got to put pressure on it. Tighten it. All right. You ready? Walter said yes, Linda, but I like the socks. How much would it cost me to mail socks to Australia? I have no idea. All right, Walter said he wants a pair of socks. All right, I'm going to spin again for the sticker, okay? And I'll go grab the socks and you see what you like. All right, we're going to do one more for the sticker. Everybody ready? All right. And we're going to spin it again because Munchkin already got a sticker. So we're going to spin it again. Okay, so this is for the sticker. And Walter said he wants socks. Wait, Will says, I think he means he doesn't want socks. We should make a donation page to help defray the cost of shipping to Walter. Yeah. No kidding, right? Walter, put yes or no in the chat if you want this, if you want the sticker. Don't worry about it. It may be USA. Okay. Don't worry about, should I respin it then? Don't worry about it. So you don't want the sticker then? Then I can respin again, Walter. You got to tell me what you want me to do. See, Walter, you just have to move. Walter said he wants the socks. Okay. All right, I'm going to spin more time for the stickers. Anyone speak Australian? So Walter wants the socks. So I have to pull up I have to grab the box of socks. Okay, here we go. This is for the sticker, okay? For the paragliding talk sticker. All right. Oh, let me spin it again. Sorry. Here we go. I'm trying to think the right way to do this so my thumb's not in the way. Bill H. Bill H wins the paragliding talk sticker. Congratulations, Bill H. You won the sticker. You won the paragliding talk sticker. So I'll get that out to you, okay? Congratulations. All right, Walter said he wants the socks. All right. I can grab the box of socks. Congratulations, Bill H. I'm going to mark it down that that you won the sticker, paragliding talk sticker, and I have your address already, Bill. So let's see, Bill won the sticker, and Munchkin, your sticker you should be getting it any day now. So let's see let me grab the box of the socks real quick. Holy moly. This is live, folks. There's a lot here, Walter. So you're welcome very much. Do you want airhead socks, Walter? Want me to send you a pair of airheads? There's so many here. We have airheads. You have to let me know in the chat. Walter's Christmas present from my USA pair family. Do you want Airhead socks? These are pretty cool, Walter. You want those? Then I got to figure out how I'm going to mail them. Fast and Furious. That's you, Walter. That's you. Oh, boom. Where'd it go? I lost the. Where'd it go? Something. I hit something. That's the. Let me get out of this. What did I do? I don't want that. Something went on here. Give me a minute. I lost the screen. I've lost my. What is this? What's this? I don't want any of this. No, I don't want any of this. Got to X out of this. Something came up on here. Now I can't get out of it. But I'm here. So I'm going to watch it on my phone. So, Walter, you want these Fast and Furious socks? And put your address in the chat. And I'll read it on my phone because I lost the chat. Something else. I must have hit something and presets came up or something popped up on my screen. So, what? You don't want these? Alt tab. Well, I'm looking at my phone right now, so I'm good. I'm not going to start messing with this or whatever. I'll get out of it because I can see it on my phone. I can see you guys. What kind of socks you want, Walter? You want Airheads? Want Airheads? Here, I can hold it like this so you can see. You gotta let me know. So I have to close the show down here pretty quick. Walter says 12 Wallace Street. Okay, yeah. All right, I'm gonna write that down. What kind of socks? What do you prefer, Walter? What do you prefer? I'm going to write your address down. 12 Wallace Street. Okay. Wallace Street. ADELAIDE 5461. All right. 12 Wallace Street, Adelaide, 5461. Okay, you want the Airheads? Okay, cool. All right, Walter. I'll figure out how I can get those out there, and then the stickers go to Bill. All right. So I'm going to read this really quick, and we're going to say goodnight because my screen is. I have to get out of that. But even though he said hit the Alt plus tab. So Alt plus tab. I'm looking to see where the Alt plus tab is, but that's all right because I can't see it. Anyway, I just want to say thank you very much for everybody stopping by the show tonight. I appreciate all my chatters, yeah, I saw that, Walter. With that, I saw your address. Yes, and I'll get those socks out to you. I just want to say really quick to all my listeners and chatters and viewers and all that for stopping by the show. A huge thank you. Who all tuned into Lindy's Treehouse live stream tonight. Your energy and comments made it so much fun. Shout out to my chatters, my listeners, my viewers, everybody who stops by each and every Thursday night. And I'm here every Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm Paramount USA, your Lindy's Treehouse. And don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and hit the notification. Okay? And don't forget, Tuesday night, hang out with Shane. Tuesday night hangout with Shane and Will Fly, Nick J, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thursday night, right here. And then Friday is Scuba Vapes or Scuba's Hangout, 8 p.m. with his lovely wife, Munchkin. All right. So I'm going to read this really quick. It's really cute. It's a little thing, a Dr. Seuss thing. I got notes flying all over the place there. All right, you ready? Everybody kind of like gather around in the treehouse for just a couple minutes. I'm going to read this. And this is from how the Grinch Stole Christmas, right? It came without ribbons. It came without tags. It came without boxes or bags. Then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before. Maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas perhaps means a little bit more. Wahoo dore, welcome Christmas, Christmas Day. Do you remember that? That was my favorite part. I like the original Grinch. I don't like the movie. I like the original one. So anyway, anywho, there you go. There's my Wahoo. I sang all the Wahoos. Weren't they cute? And Wahoo Land. So cute. All right. So stickers, and we'll figure out how to get those Airhead socks out to you. Thank you so much, everybody. And next week we'll be giving away other stuff. And so I'm going to end the stream. I'm going to say good night. I love y'all. Love y'all. Love y'all. And I hope I can end it just up here because I can't see the other part. I'm trying to figure out how to get out of that. So anyway, I'm going to say good night. I love y'all. And I'll see you next week right here. Congratulations to both my winners tonight on the Spinny Winnie Wheel of Winnie things. And every week we give away something because I love giving things away. And I have umpteen socks here. And I appreciate all the donations from Angela, and Miss and Tony. And then I have Munchkin and Scooby-Doo gave me, donated some socks. And I really appreciate everybody. I appreciate everything you do. So y'all be safe out there. Okay. Have a great week. Yeah, throw those hearts in there. I'm looking at my phone. Thank God I had my phone on. And I'll see you all when I see you, right? So on Scooby-Doo's show tomorrow night, when we all hang out. So I'm going to, I got to watch my rodeo stuff. Just started on the TV, and then football's tonight too. So I'm going to be busy. Anyway, much love, much love, much love. Y'all behave. Take care of each other. Say your prayers. Jesus loves you. Okay. And I'll pray for you. You pray for me. Big hearts, all that good stuff. And let's say goodnight. All right. And you see my beautiful sweater and my hat and everything. And we'll just all Christmassy. Yes. So anyway, night, everybody. Love ya. Love y'all bunches. Lots of bunches. I'm going to hit end stream. Bye-bye. Can I get off of this? It's going to let me. I want to end it. Oh, there we go. I found it. Bye, everybody. Much love. Only me, right? It's live. Only me. See ya. Bye-bye.